Put some music in my food for me and give me some reggae, reggae sauce. Hot reggae, reggae sauce. It's so nice, I had to name it twice. I called it reggae, reggae sauce. Hot reggae, reggae sauce. Put some reggae sauce on your list. Thank you. My name is Levi Roots. I'm looking for 50,000 for 20% in my reggae sauce. I've been in the music business for over 30 years. I'm a producer, a singer, a songwriter, and a chef. For 15 of those 30 years, I've been doing the Notting Hill Carnival, supplying most of the stalls with my secret recipe sauce I entitled Reggae Sauce. So without further ado, I like just make you have a look. Right, the sauce. What is the sauce? Reggae sauce is a hot to mild jerk barbecue sauce. It replaces the typical tomato ketchup or your hot pepper sauce. Tomato ketchup is boring, no flavors, just tomato. Hot pepper sauce is hot, no flavors, it ruins your food. With reggae sauce, it retains the flavors of the garlic, the peppers, the coriander, the scallion, and all the herbs and spices which we put in. I've got a very nice order from a meat company in Yorkshire for, wait for it, 2.5 million liters of reggae sauce as their first orders. We've had just like a shook hands on a deal. I've had a nice letter from them, which I have with me. Now, all we have to do now is just try and get production up to standard. Any questions, please?
It's rare for the Dragons to be serenaded for an investment, but will that help Levi Roots secure the £50,000 he needs in return for a 20% share in reggae sauce? Theo Pafitis wants to know more about the entrepreneur in front of him.
Levi Roots, what a great name.
Thanks
Is it your real name?
No, it's my pseudonym. My real name is Keith. No, I don't see me would have been in 30 years in reggae if I was. Can I introduce Keith?
You've just lost so much credibility. You should have lied to him and said, yeah.
But you have, not if my mother calls me Keith, right? She calls me Levi. I've been knowing that ever since then.
Oh, dear, right.
You mentioned a letter you had with an order for 2.5 million litres.
Yeah.
So have you got the letter with you?
I have indeed.
Well, would you pass that to Theo and let him read it while I ask you a few more questions?
Certainly, no problem. And I think Theo must be this handsome guy right in front of me here.
Sold. I like you already.
So you've been selling this for 15 years?
Yes.
At the carnival?
At Notting Hill Carnival, yes.
So how many bottles did you sell last year?
2,500.
2,500 bottles at the carnival. And approximately how much per bottle?
£1.49.
So about £4,000 turnover or something?
Yeah. The sauce actually costs 32 pence to make each bottle of this size.
Where do you make it? How do you make it? Do you make it in your kitchen or
yes,
a
at the
plant,
moment I make it at home in my kitchen, and my children help me, and we just sort of do it as a family there. A very small kitchen. We can't do a very large amount at the moment.
Can you legally make things like that in your kitchen and go out and sell them nationwide?
Absolutely, because we've had a letter and a confirmation from the food standard, which was one of the first things that I did.
Have you spoken to anybody about what it takes to produce the kind of volumes that are going to be needed to fulfil these? And what do you need to do?
What I need to do is to rent a place. I mean, I won't buy or anything like that. I will just rent a premises. And I think the equipment will cost me about $25,000 for all equipment.
You need to spend £25,000 on equipment?
Yeah.
Levi's still sounding confident, but his ambitious plans mean transforming a cottage industry into a mass production line virtually overnight. Theo Pafitis has been studying Levi's paperwork and has some concerns about the order itself.
I might have misunderstood you slightly, because I thought you said that you had an order for 2.5 million litres. That's not what this letter says. This letter says if they were to try and market your product, and if it was as successful as some of the other lines that are in national retailers, that's the sort of level that they would have to produce to make it happen. Is that your understanding?
No. Basically what he's saying to me, he says, look, we're ready to make an order. As long as you can supply us with this is what we will do.
Right. And they're going to pay you a royalty of 5%.
Of 5%, providing that I can supply him. He will.
With him alone, I mean, he thinks that that will create about 390,000 packs.
Yeah.
Which will retail at about 1.7 million.
Yeah.
So 5% of that is?
You've got me there.
85.
85.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that would be
to sing a song.
that would be your royalty.
Yes.
Roughly.
Roughly, yeah.
That would be, and then you're going to be selling these guys at £6.50 a litre.
Per litre, yeah.
What's that in real money?
I think it's 16 million something. 16.5 million.
Although Levi's letter is not a firm order, he's still maintaining this potential deal could generate £16 million, a huge turnover for such a small business. But Richard Farley thinks he's spotted a fundamental flaw in Levi's calculations.
Levi, can I just want to, it's something I don't understand. You've got an order for 2,500 kilos. Is that the one you're saying is 2.5 million litres?
Yeah.
Because I don't think that's right.
Not 2,500. 250,000, isn't it?
2,500 kilos.
So it's a lot less than you think it is.
It is?
2,500. The order is for
2,500 kilos.
Well, a kilo is about the same as a litre. If it's water, it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
So it's not 2.5 million litres. If you've got 2,500 kilos, it's 2,500 litres.
Okay.
And then it says
that comes-
2,500
that's initial
kilos,
requirement, and then a potential every week thereafter of 500 kilos per week.
Which is about 25,000 a year.
Okay.
And you're getting £6 per...
£6.50 per litre.
Right, so it's about £130,000 worth per order, per year. It's not 16 million.
Richard Farley has exposed a disastrous miscalculation by Levi. Potential royalties aside, manufacturing the sauce himself would make him £130,000, but not £16 million. Duncan Bannatyne has heard enough.
Levi, there's no business in this. So I'm going to let you know where I am, and I'm not going to invest. So I wish you the best of luck, but I'm out.
Duncan Bannatyne thinks Levi's sauce has no future. Will the 4 remaining dragons agree?
OK, let me tell you where I am. I think you've got a great business, but it's for you, and you will do well out of it. It's not going to be on a big enough scale for me. So thanks for bringing it here, but I'm out.
Thank you.
Levi, let me come in here. That letter's not an order.
It's not an order.
And it's a hugely complex, difficult business to get into major supermarkets. In fact, I'd go as far as to say you've got pretty well very little hope. If, on the other hand, that letter becomes reality, the royalties alone on one line they're offering you is approximately £80,000. Then on top of that, you'll then receive your money for supplying the sauce. So at that stage, you actually don't need any help from anybody here if that comes to fruition. So those are the 2 reasons why I won't be investing. So I'm afraid, Levi, I'm out.
Levi is staring disaster in the face. With 3 dragons out in quick succession, his chances of securing the £50,000 investment are fading fast. Only Peter Jones and Richard Farley now stand between him and expulsion from the den.
It's a little bit confusing because, I mean, you're a fantastic guy, you're a lot of fun, right? But...
I always get that.
I mean, that's completely irrelevant, really, because in terms of you managing a business, I'd be a bit nervous because, as I discovered, you're not doing 2.5 million litres, you're doing 2,500 litres. And I noticed you didn't sort of say, oh, well, in that case, I'll only need a small room or less money. So you probably admit to me that your business skills probably would need a little bit of help.
Absolutely. I would say that, yeah.
So I'm just sort of sitting here thinking, do I want to take a gamble, you know?
Can I just cut in to give Richard a bit of time to think about whether he wants to gamble or whether to think about it? Because I know where I'm going with it, and I just want to be clear where I am.
Okay.
So you've got no illusions going forward. I think that trying to get into this market, we know how competitive it is. It's seriously, seriously competitive. To try and range run product is kind of almost impossible. So to let you know where I am, I like impossible challenges.
Good.
And I've been sitting here for 10 minutes. I can't believe this is the first time ever I've actually started to sweat. And I don't know whether it's the sauce that I've just
Join the
taken,
club.
or actually whether it's what I'm about to say. It is a complete punt, but I kind of probably would enjoy it. I've got a few people in the marketplace that I could introduce you to, but I'd want a little bit more of a slice, but I wouldn't want to take too much away from you because I think you need to earn a living. But I would offer you half the money for 20%.
It's an extraordinary twist. Peter Jones has stepped in and offered Levi half of the £50,000 he needs, but he's demanding the whole 20% equity stake in return. Under the rules of the Den, Levi must secure all the money he's asking for, or he leaves empty-handed. His fate now rests with Richard Farley.
Is that an interesting offer to you? I mean, it just...
Well, it's the only one. It's the only one so far. It's going to be interesting if it's the only one so far.
Because on the one hand, if this works, it's great. If it doesn't matter how many other sources you've got. We're talking about 25,000 for 20%. So no, I think that's a fair. That's not. It is a gamble. It is a punt. I'd match that 25,000 for another 20%. So you'd be talking 50,000 for 40%, leaving you 60%.
Richard Farley thinks there is money to be made from Levi's deal, but only if he has a big enough slice of the company. Levi could have the £50,000 he's come for if he's prepared to give the two dragons double the equity he was originally offering. Will he be prepared to sacrifice such a large chunk of his business?
Well, I came with, thinking that I'm going to be tough like you guys. But I must admit, I have learned a few things here, from you guys. Obviously, I'm always up for learning. And I think that deal, it's not ideal for me. But at the same time, I think this is going to do fantastic for the source. So I would accept it gladly. Okay.
Levi has done it. After a roller coaster ride in the Den, he's giving away 40% of his company, having gained £50,000 and two extremely influential business partners. Now he really has got something to sing about.
Put some music in the food for me and give me some reggae sauce. Hot reggae sauce. It's so nice, I had to name it twice. I call it reggae sauce. Blessed.